just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. And I'm not trying my hardest, and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
Welcome to the Night Section. Considered by many to be one of the greatest hip-hop records of all time, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is Kanye West's magnum opus, an album of incredible musical and cultural importance. Kanye West has had a prolific career working as a rapper, music producer, and a fashion designer. No stranger to controversy, Kanye, now known as Ye, is one of the most well-known hip-hop artists of all time. In the early 2000s, he made a name for himself when he worked with Rockefeller Records, where he produced many songs for other artists. He was always very ambitious, and after his early successes, he created his first solo album in 2004 entitled The College Dropout. This was received incredibly well by both the public and the critics and was a commercial success. At this time, he also set up his own record label, Good Music. Over the coming years, he put out some incredible albums that explored many facets of sound, mixing orchestral sounds with synths, exploring auto-tune, and coming up with minimalistic sounds as well as massive epic sounds. He very much put his own stamp on hip-hop. His subsequent albums, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s, and Heartbreak, were all very well received. Each had a 2-year break and a unique sound all of their own. West has always been an artist who makes his own music on his own terms. In 2010, Kanye released My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy after his controversial incident at the 2009 MTV Music Awards when he took the microphone off Taylor Swift, who was receiving an award, and proclaimed how Beyonce's single, which was also nominated, was one of the best of all time.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Now, this was probably one of his most controversial moments in the public eye. Being well known for public controversies, he was unfazed by the following media and public outcry of the MTV incident, and he put himself into a self-imposed exile in Hawaii, where he basically lived in a recording studio for months, surrounding himself with some incredible musicians, including Jay-Z, Kid Cudi, Pusha T, and Justin Vernon of Bon Iver. During this time, he composed and recorded My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. West had engineers working with him 24 hours a day, and he himself only slept in small periods, basically taking naps. He was a man that appeared to be possessed during the production of this album. When it was released, it was an immediate hit and got rave reviews from critics, quickly seen as an album of great importance. It has a massive and epic sound and deals with the themes of celebrity status and excess. With its mixture of orchestral and electronic, it pushed the boundaries of what we consider hip-hop to sound like. As well as being an incredible artist, West also did an exceptional marketing campaign for the album. He is a musical genius who also knows how to sell his music. Upon the album's release, he put out some free tracks on quote-unquote Good Fridays, where the goal was to release a song every Friday until the release of the album. And he also cleverly released a short film called Runaway that was set to some of the music of the album. By creating interesting content and using the online medium to his advantage, West created an amazing buzz about his work. The first 4 single releases of this record all reached the Billboard Top 40 almost immediately. The album itself has been named the best album of 2010, and Rolling Stones magazine has also voted it as one of the best albums of all time.
And I'm putting out art, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people tell me don't use auto-tune, don't sing, blah, 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 I painted these pictures, these sonic pictures, basically the way I wanted it. You can't tell Damien Hirst what medium of art he's supposed to use, or Jeff Koons.
He had to do whatever comes out.
Yeah, I am a pop artist. That's my genre of music, is pop art. The thing is, I'm hip hop because I'm hip hop. I'm black because I'm black. But certain rules that hip hop set up, hip hop not even supposed to have no rules. Like,
The 2000s was a brilliant period for hip-hop, and many artists were reaching a massive audience, many hitting the pop charts. At a time where more edgier and diverse artists were getting attention, and with iconic rappers such as Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. having made big headlines in the late 90s, hip-hop was well and truly reaching a bigger fan base every day. Fast forward to the early 2010s, mumble rap was gaining huge popularity, and even pop singers were adopting softer, almost whispered style of vocals. And at the cusp of this new wave, Kanye West was pioneering popular hip-hop while at the same time experimenting with his own unique style. What is brilliant about the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album is that it is very much a collaborative piece. Having assembled some of the best musicians in the industry together in a studio in Hawaii, it has been described by many who worked on this album as a musical commune. The different styles of the musicians involved add an eclectic and vibrant mix of energies. During its creation, Kanye had different musicians in different studio rooms, and he would alternate between the rooms during the recording and composing process. On its release, it was heralded as something very new. With its large-scale orchestral sound and interesting employment of digital technology, it could almost be considered prog hip-hop. Al Horner from NME called it a rap opera, and Rolling Stone referred to the album as the Pink Floyd of rap. It is an intelligent album with very personal lyrics and subjects, rising above the ordinary formula of hip-hop. With such a huge ensemble of musicians working on it, many artists have realized the importance of collaborations and adding guest performers to albums and individual songs. With its orchestral sound and clever sampling, it is a unique and bold record that shattered all boundaries of what hip-hop is or should be. By breaking from formula and taking the recording to a secret location, it's a creative process that becomes an event, and quite rightly referred to by some as once again a musical commune. Some of the artists who worked on this album were Raekwon, RZA, Charlie Wilson, Drake, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Elton John, Seal, Beyonce, Alicia Keys, and Ellie Jackson. It is probably one of the most expensive albums ever made, costing about $3 million. Now, West wanted to create an atmosphere where all musicians had input into the ideas and creativity on the recording on a daily basis. In his own words, everyone was there to create, challenge, and inspire. Even though so many musical heavyweights were assembled at this recording session, there were never any ego clashes, and many talk about how positive an experience it was. Kanye has a very unorthodox way of working and likes to multitask a lot, often taking ideas from one recording and putting it into a completely different one. During the creation of the album, they had discussions every day where everyone had their say, and Kanye would choose the parts he liked the most. With such a collaborative approach and driven by a musical genius, it's an album full of blending ideas with a single vision full of purpose. This is a groundbreaking album that makes us question what hip-hop is and how we record it. Ultimately, what makes it so great is the environment. It was created in secret, where all emails, texting, and tweeting were banned. Also, it was made at a time when the creator was in the center of controversy. Some of the greatest work is created by an artist when they are living on the edge. It is when we step into the unknown that true musical magic happens. This is a fearless album and explores many different musical styles, which it fuses effortlessly. I think we have learned from this album that music has no boundaries. It could be anything we want it to be. Night Section